Gentlemen, we're gonna have to skip the jokes today. I know you come for the laughs, the high yucks, the jawline that cuts steel. We just don't have fucking time. This just happened. Retail and the masses are flooding back into crypto, specifically altcoins. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a sector of altcoins that is going to pump the hardest because of where institutional and Wall Street money is going to roll into. And it's also essential for crypto to keep growing. Without this, crypto completely breaks. You combine this narrative with the amount of money flowing in, with the amount of people flowing in altcoins, this is going to deliver stupid 10, 20, 30x gains if it plays out from here. And the reason I'm skipping all the high X in this video, I wore the funny shirt for you, get the laughs in. It's because we don't have time. Last video, I told you I had minutes to days to act. Since that video, we are seeing coins that we talked about up 300%, up 600%, up 50, 30% left and right. All the entries on these really good alts are closing up. And if I make some creative, well-written, funny video for you, I'm not sure I'm going to get it to you in time because everybody's flooding back in right now and they're looking for these entries, and these entries are just going to close up probably within the week. Regardless of that, the sector I'm going to cover right here, you need to understand because this is going to be the most powerful sector in crypto when it comes to returns and complete ridiculous overvaluations. Nothing that's about to happen here is going to be realistic or accurately judged in value. We're going to see the most amount of goofy money and silly, greedy, risk appetite money flooding into this, and things that are complete vaporware are going to do crazy numbers and hit billion-dollar valuations. And the reason I'm rushing this out right now is because these coins in this sector are still sitting at good entries. Good enough. Not from the point I mentioned a month ago or 2 months ago when I pointed these things out and they were at dumpster lows. We're already sitting at 2, 3Xs on a lot of these coins. That doesn't mean they've arrived anywhere close to their final destinations yet. But the chance to get the really good entries that are going to give you those cozy entries that let you ride up the entire bull run versus jumping in the middle way like most people do, the masses do, and being at massive risk the entire time, that opportunity, you can kiss it goodbye probably after this week. So let's dive into this. Also, super quick, guys, before the video continues. One, my meme coin is dropping here. I'm going to try and time it with peak market FOMO. I think it's going to do good things. I'm making nothing for it. I'm giving it away only to my most engaged followers. To get on that, you need to be following me at ZSS Becker and racking up those cool points that will be explained on Twitter. You need to be subscribed to this channel. When I drop that whitelist of 5,000, 10,000 people, it's going to be my most engaged followers who are going to be getting this coin. On top of that, you want the news, things that are breaking, what I'm seeing early, that's where it's going to be posted first. And maybe during the bear, this slower period, it really didn't matter not being on the cutting edge, but we're seeing coins doing 100 to 200% gains in a day now in altcoins. For example, I pointed out Graph AI when it was at nothing on X, things up 500% now. I'm not promising you those gains. I'm just saying things are moving fucking fast. Let's get back to the video. So, gentlemen, quick market recap so you understand why this is about to happen, and then we'll get into the coins. Look, it's no secret Bitcoin pumped up to 100,000. It's no secret that Ethereum is on an absolute tear right now. Now, at 1,400 ETH a few months ago, when everybody was freaking out and saying crypto was over, if you were with me on the channel, we were buying literally everything. We were eating all of these things up at lows. And at that time, I told you, as everybody thought the market was crashing down, that Bitcoin was going to surge past 100K again. Nobody believed me? It did. I told you Ethereum, you're going to blink and it's going to be past 4,500 and go to all-time highs. That just happened. It's about to hit its all-time high. Then I told you what is going to happen next is the biggest alt season in history. We have more money pooling in the Bitcoin and Ethereum than the entire market cap of all of crypto last run. There is more money sidelined on planet Earth, ready to move into risk assets than ever before. Everyone is completely offsides. You combine these two together with institutions, Wall Street, governments all taking these two assets extremely seriously now. We're going to see Ethereum probably pump the crazy numbers, but what's going to happen is that money hasn't really rolled into altcoins yet, especially the top ones right here. The amount of money that's up here in proportion to the lack of money that's down here is going to cause these to go nuts. These coins down here, the top 10, 20 coins. Now, don't get me wrong. We can make a lot of money in these coins, 3, 4, 5Xs. But what is going to happen is the amount of money that's lacking in mid cap and lower cap coins is insane. And the amount of money it takes to pump these things, 50, 100X, is very small, a very small proportion of the Death Star-like money that is currently rolling in from all the biggest money in the entire world, institutions, governments, whatever. On top of this, we are seeing retail start to FOMO back in. People put their heads up when Ethereum pumped past $4,600. On top of that, BlackRock, the people that own literally all the news stations, are about to start blaring that crypto is the best investment ever to pump their bags. They've been buying billions and billions and billions of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and every big institution, corporation, everyone's rushing to buy these things now, and then they're about to blare it to all the people that they plan to dump on here in 4 or 5 months. Now, you combine that together with the biggest tech narrative in the entire world, which is AI right now. Now, AI and crypto work together in a very unique way. In a few years, you're not going to be able to verify that anything is real. AI video, AI messaging, AI bots communication is just going to be too damn good. The only way to verify anything is going to be through blockchain technology. Now, there's one other caveat to this. If we don't have blockchain technology, we can't truly decentralize AI power, the processing that powers it, the systems that power it. The only way to do this is, again, with blockchain. If we do not have blockchain, AI, crypto tech, then we're going to be living in a world where we can't verify anything, and a few powers control all the AI that controls the reality we perceive. That's really dark, but that's not going to happen. For the world to survive post-AI, AI crypto has to explode. So you put that narrative with this and how Ethereum is about to be completely repriced because it's about to become the settlement layer for the entire human race. That's going to cause massive overvaluations in altcoins. You combine the massive overvaluations we're seeing in AI in the tech sector, and you combine that with the money rolling in from all the big money right here, and you then combine it with the intense greed that's about to happen. All of Wall Street, all the big funds, everyone is about to see just how easily these coins pump right here, and they're going to get hungry. And that is all going to flow down to the lower and mid-cap coins, and the ones that are going to see the biggest overvaluations, the highest speculation is going to be AI crypto because of all the things I just described to you right here. Most coins in this market are going to pump. You're not going to be able to pick a coin and not make money on it. The ones that are going to do the crazy overvaluations, we're going to see them going from $10 million to $300 million market caps like that, which is a 30x overnight, left and right, because of all the factors I just talked about. To recap, the most money ever sidelined in the world, the biggest money in the world moving into crypto, AI being required in the future, and the typical altcoin roll down combined with the AI narrative and tech that is absolutely getting stupid valuations right now. We are going to see AI crypto coins that are even vaporware hitting billion-dollar overvaluations. None of this is going to make sense. None of these valuations are going to be accurate, and it's going to cause probably the biggest crash of all time, which is fine because there's going to be a chance to make stupid gains from this complete recklessness we're about to see. These are the coins in the AI sector that are probably going to do the biggest gains. So look, the way I like to play in these type of markets right here, especially the mid or low caps, is I like to spread it across a lot of coins. I'm not necessarily saying that you do that because if you are new to crypto, you're not going to be able to keep up and understand 20, 30 coins at the same time. I've been doing crypto for almost half a decade now, and while that doesn't make me the longest veteran of all time, I've been playing in altcoins and midcaps for a very long time, and so it's very easy for me to understand the flow of what's going on with 20, 30 different coins at the same time because they all kind of connect together, especially if you focus on one market or one sector. I'm not saying you grab 20, 30 coins. I like to do that because what's going to happen with all these coins is at least 15% of them are probably going to nuke to zero before the bull run is done. Someone's going to get hacked, something bad's going to happen to them. That's just the nature of the beast right here. And then another handful of them are going to do nothing. And then the rest of them are going to do equivalent gains to the rest of the market, and a few outliers are going to do 20, 30 X's. And so that's where you're going to make all your money at, is those bottom 60% of coins, the ones that do the good gains the rest of the market does, and then the other ones that do the crazy, stupid gains. For example, let me show you an example of what nailing a market means. Now, as I go into this, please read the description below. I've written it in pure, easy to read English. It's not for entertainment value. It's not there just to cover my ass legally. It's there for you to actually read. Go read it. It's important. I'm not going to recite the entire thing because we have too much to get to in this video. There's also legal text in there as well if you want to read that and you're a big brain. But this is what nailing a market means. You see Sandbox right here, and the equivalent to, I think, the hottest trend in crypto last run was gaming crypto. I think it's still going to do exceptionally well, but later this run. You can see Sandbox right here went from 4 cents all the way up to $6. I don't even know how many X's that is. Easy 100X at least. That's what I mean by nailing, and these few outliers are going to do the crazy gains. So the reason why, again, I'm going to list a lot of coins right here when I talk about AI cryptos, because I like to spread it out, knowing that a few of my coins are going to absolutely explode. Few of them aren't going to do anything. Few of them are going to do gains equivalent to the rest of the market, and then the other ones are going to make outrageous gains. And while you can predict that a little bit, it's still very hard to predict. So the way I'm going to structure this portfolio of AI coins right here is going to be from coins that you're not going to be sentenced and banished from your family for buying, which are going to be the lower risk AI coins. And by that, I mean, if we crash here at any point, which just being straight up on the table with you, I see a 50-50 chance the market keeps going. I never know what is going to happen next. I just know that if we're at a roulette table right now in Vegas right now, there's red and black odds. If I bet on red, I can 5, 10, 20x my money. If I bet on black, I'm going to lose probably 60, 70% of my money. That, in my mind, is fantastic risk to reward that I will take every day of the week. And so that's how I view the market right now. I don't want to see anybody thinking that I'm somehow guaranteeing or predicting the market's going to go up or guaranteeing any of these coins. I'm saying I'm gambling here, and those are the risk to reward odds I see. Now, these safer coins, if we crash it, you're probably eating a 60, 70% loss. But things like Tau, things like Near, things like Render, 5 years from now are going to be big AI coins, and they're not going anywhere. These are not vaporware technologies. As we get down into the lower coins down here, if you put money into these things and the market crashes, they're going to zero, 90% losses. And there's very little chance they actually recover in the future, or a technology that's going to be used in the future, because a lot of them are vaporware. They don't do anything, or they have like new startup teams. This doesn't mean these things can't provide insane gains from here. It means when the game of musical chairs in crypto stops, you better not be sitting in them. Okay, so those are going to be the higher risk ones. If you're new, I say you stop at the top 5 or top 10 coins I talk about right here. These are not the ones that are going to get you the biggest gains, but these are also not the ones that are going to blow up your entire life. And if you have no experience in crypto, everybody that gets into crypto jumps in and starts going down to these coins down here thinking they have the skills and brains to do that. That's why 95% of people that get into crypto lose all their money. And I'm not joking there. Only 5% of people watching this video, even if you got in at lows, you're going to leave in profit. 95% of you are not going to make money here. If you're new to crypto, your odds of making money here, even if you get way up, are probably pretty low because you're going to hold it. And you think you won't, but that's what 95% of people say. So with that all being said, now that you have the context, let's talk about this. So obviously, if I'm going to start anywhere with an AI portfolio, and I'm not going to explain what every one of these coins does. If you want to see a breakdown of how AI crypto works, there's going to be a video linked at the end of this that breaks down every part of it. I know you don't give a shit. You see everybody flooding back in. You want to know where the pumps are going to be. This is where they're going to be, kiddo. So first thing we got to point out, look at the coins moving. Everybody's starting to take positions in these things. But Tensor, for example, I think is like the North Star of AI crypto. And you're seeing, this is a really bad example. It looks like dog shit right here. But actually, when we got it from like right here, when we were buying most of our Tau and everything, this is doing phenomenal for us. But you're seeing people start to take positions in these AI coins. And for example, if you look at like Graph, which we talked about last video, which was a semi-new coin, I told you good coins, the entries on them were just going to go kaput. You can see just in the last week alone, this thing's up 500%. And so the good entries on good low cap coins, they're just getting eaten up left and right. And I think Graph, I think this has the sauce this run. I think this one's going to multiple $100 million market cap. It's doing really well for us since last video. But if we're starting from the top, these safer coins to get into would be BitTensor and Tau. I'm much heavier on Tau because I think Tau just has the better brand. And I think it's going to move more. I think this could easily do a 3, 4x from here very easily. It's just a good coin to have in any portfolio. This thing could easily do a 5, 10x. I could see a $30 billion market cap, especially if Ethereum runs to $8,000, $10,000. I would also go into Near. Near is about the same market cap. I think they're both kind of the equivalent. And if I was going to buy anything in relation to Tau, if I wanted bigger gains, I go after TauBot, which is going to be the decentralized exchange on Tau that if Tau moves, then this thing's going to move with it, and it's going to move at a higher multiple. So if Tau does a 2x, TauBot is going to do a 4x. So if you want a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, cheekier way to make gains, I would buy the decentralized exchange underneath it because that's going to pump much harder than the actual coin itself. Now, Near, Internet Computer, these are all great coins. Render is a great coin. When it comes to these top coins, I'm just loaded up in Tau. All 4 of these ones right here are really good if you just want exposure to AI. But I like to get the coins that are going to have the higher multiples. And so if I'm making my top portfolio, it's going to be those top 4 right there. Easy. What I actually have is I have BitTensor, and then I skip all the way down here to AOS. I think AOS has the ability to come up here and be one of the top coins, but sitting at a $500 million market cap. And this provides an AI and a centralized backbone to so many different systems online that I see it just being one of the top coins as well. So where I'm really going to start my top portfolio at is going to be AOS. I also really like Akash Network. I don't hold that, but it's another fantastic coin. I think has the brand name to get up there in the top coins. Now, if we're also talking about top coins, I think probably one of the best performers that has the chance to go from this level all the way up to this level is going to be ASTRA. This just got listed on a lot of exchanges, and I think it's about to be on major exchanges soon. Don't quote me on that. I just think it is because they're about to pick it up. And so I think a lot of the major exchanges, Binance has mentioned ASTRA a lot of times. I think they're probably going to add it in the near future. And I think it's going to be one of the most accessible lower cap AI crypto coins on the market, which is going to give it the potential to get to AOS levels. As AOS gets to these top coin levels, it will go up here probably to $1 billion, $2 billion market cap if the market keeps running. Another close one to Destra is going to be ZigChain. I would just grab Destra and ZigChain. ZigChain is a layer or a complete layer for AI. So I think this valuation right here is really low. And I would pair it right up there with Destra. I think both of these have the ability to become a billion, if not a multi-billion dollar market cap coin. Then finally, if we're in like kind of the larger to middle cap coins that I think are the better bets, PAL and the AI tech they have behind it with all their chatbots and interactions going on, it's better than a lot of things that are actually in the typical AI tech sector right now. And so I put that right up there with Destra and Zig. And so those three right there are really powerful mid-cap coins, and with AOS being kind of a larger cap coin that still can give those big multiples in AI. Now, if we're getting slightly below those ones where things start to get really kind of kinky, is I'm going to be grabbing Pinlink, which actually ties a lot into RWA as well. So I like that narrative because RWA is going to be the second hottest narrative in crypto. Pinlink is going to be leading the way on both of those, tag teaming them together. So Pinlink, I think, is exceptional for some of the pumpiest gains. And then another one that's in that category when it comes to privacy and everything else is going to be 0x0. This and Pinlink, and then finally Node and Hash AI. These are kind of the more middle range coins that I think they got good teams. They got a lot of good stuff going for them. A lot of them are generating revenue and they're doing real things. I think Node and especially Hash, I think Hash is going to run turbo hard. I think those coins right there are probably really good places to start if you're getting into the middle cap and lower cap ish coins that are going to pump the hardest, but aren't the swampy coins that could actually destroy your entire portfolio, that are semi-new and more higher risk. And so if I was a beginner to intermediate, that's where I would likely stop at. Now, if we're getting into the AI coins that I think can do goofy numbers, literally just a couple months ago, all these were sitting at like $5 million, $10 million market caps. I'm like, you're going to see them all pump up to $50 million market caps minimum. That's where they're all going to start at. There's no longer be $5 million market caps. They're already doing it. Neural, Vertical, which are two coins where I'd be starting off. So Neural, it really ties into gaming and AI, which I think gaming is going to be one of the hardest running sectors later on. So tag teaming that with AI, cookies and cream. Then a newer coin on the sector right now that I think has just kind of shown that it has the sauce. This thing just keeps moving. I don't understand how it keeps moving this hard this early in the market. Graph AI, I think this one with its trajectory and how it's moving right now, probably going to a multiple $100 million market cap. It's just strong. It just doesn't stop. Probably one of the best performing coins on the market. So it's a little up right now. You could wait for an entry on it. We got it like right here on the channel, which is again, why you should follow me on Twitter. That's why you should subscribe to the channel. Also, you'll be able to get it on that sweet, juicy meme coin. But this one, I think Graph just has the sauce, and it's sitting at these levels right now, and it would technically be in that middle range, but it's too new. Another coin that we have to mention when it comes to AI is going to be Anyone Protocol. It's not technically listed in AI, but in order to run almost all the infrastructure for all the coins I'm talking about, you need something like Anyone to plug in and actually make the processing for all the AI decentralized, or it can just all be tracked and controlled, which ties into things I talked about before. Anyone ties into the privacy of it because people don't need to be giving away their locations and everything else that goes with it. You really can't run any of this without something like Anyone, and I think it's very underrated, and I think this one could go to multiple $100 million market caps just because it's essential to everything. And there are not many good DPIN coins out there. So it kind of has a market all of itself, or all to itself. And then finally, if we're starting to get into the more higher risk coins on this list, the Vertical AI is really new. It's one of the newer coins. And there's a lot of AI coins that actually I think are the best movers right now, but they came at the tail end of that little mini bull we had last year. And that's when the entire market crashed. And so everybody that got into these coins just turbo dumped them. They took like 90% losses for no reason other than people were just panicking, getting completely out of the market. Vertical is one of these coins right here. Now, we got in the Vertical at like a $5 million market cap, so we really just don't even care about those dumps I talked about. But Vertical AI is a fantastic AI coin that is still kind of at a lower market cap, and it's still kind of new and in that little batch of higher risk, newer AI coins. And so if I'm going to start my higher risk but super return AI portfolio, it's going to start with Vertical. Palm is one that's actually in the lower market caps that should not be here. Palm is a very undervalued. It doesn't make sense because it's one of the more recognized older coins. And so I would almost put this one up to the mid cap levels. I have no idea why it's down here, but I think this one is easily going to multiple $100 million market caps. It easily back to its old all-time high, no problem. And then another one that's kind of in the same situation as Vertical This one is at a goofy market cap, right? 14 million for parallel AI is just dumb. It had the same exact problems that Vertical had, and I think it's about to do the same exact recovery that Vertical had. So parallel AI is definitely one of the lower, riskier ones right here. But I think this one could easily go to a $100 million market cap, $150 million market cap, easily pull a 10x from these numbers right here. And then there is a small list of really new ones that are kind of under the radar that I think, like, for example, Privix right here, really good coin, sitting at a stupid market cap. Now, these are the newer, really high risk ones right here. A lot of these ones just came, and teams that jump up on the market have a chance to just bail, or the coin just doesn't work out. Privix, a really good coin that just hit the market and really is at a silly market cap. Whenever the AI market truly takes off, you're going to see Tau doing its 3-4x. These little $5 million market caps are going to go to $50, $100 million market caps, no problem. Another good example of a new coin that's sitting at a really low market cap is AVM. Another fantastic coin with a fantastic tech, but came out kind of under the radar recently. It's only from June that this released, and so it's not really discovered yet. And so this is, again, one of the coins where you're going to have to take a little bit of risk at the lower market cap, but this goes to just a low $100 million market cap, which will be low in an AI bull run. This is not low right now. $100 million market cap for some of these coins would be ridiculous. In a few months, not so much. If the market moves anything like it did last run, we saw gaming coins go from $5 million market caps to like $500 million market caps without doing anything. Like, the coins didn't do anything. There was this one coin called Block something. It shot to a $500 million market cap, and all they did was take Unity pre-made assets and build a tower. They never did anything from my point of view. We might go check this coin 5 years from now and they built the next World of Warcraft. I don't know. But from my point of view, they never did anything. Things shot to a $500 million market cap. People made so much money on it. And it's just an example of coins, regardless of what they're doing, when the hype comes, the hype is going to come. Another new one that's sitting at a pretty decent market cap that I love is going to be Spectre. Probably one of the middle to low cap ones. I think this one can easily go up to those numbers we've been talking about with similar coins. It's a good place to spread the money around into. And then two of my final favorites right here. Actually, this is probably one of my favorites. ASTRA has the sauce, I think, kind of similar to Graph. I've seen how strong it moved before. This is a phenomenal coin with a super duper good team who I talk to a lot. I think this one could run at very large market caps as well. And so it's, again, on that high risk profile. But the thing is here, it's not a new coin. They've been working on it for a whole while. What I think is going to happen is the coins that have something to show for themselves, anything to show for themselves, and have a little bit of a track record, that's where the overvaluations are going to go to. And then do coins that are straggling. I think ZKML, it's very similar to anyone, and that it's very underrated tech that needs to be used in a lot of AI coins and infrastructure. And they have partnerships with a lot of these huge coins that I talked about. I think this valuation on this coin, I don't think it should be in the low cap, high risk zone. There's a lot of nutty things they're doing right here. And so I kind of put it in that D-pin area. If I'm building a D-pin portfolio, which I'm not going to explain in this video because that's a whole other basket of worms, ZKML would be in there just for the reliance that AI crypto has on it. And then finally, one of the lower ones that has that long track record, kind of similar to ASTRA I talked about, Conducts, because it brings AI and NFTs and combines them together. I think that's going to do very well because NFTs are going to do stupid well here soon, in my opinion. As soon as crypto gets really serious again, everybody's going to FOMO back into wanting the right NFT for their profile picture. It's going to be the Richard Mille watch, the Lamborghini, the Ferrari flex of people in crypto. And I think it having AI plugged into it, Condex is by far the only really real leader in that. I think that's why Condex is going to do very, very well. And I think the $9 million market cap is just awfully low for it. And then finally, another coin I'll finish this off with that is at an inappropriate market cap, Qubit. It's a newer coin, came out in July, so people just haven't really discovered it yet. I think they will discover it very soon because it's up there with ASTRA. The team is just really building something unique here. And so if I'm catching those really low market caps that can do a 10x just getting the 50 million, Qubit's definitely on that list. Now, there's a few other AI coins I'm into, but I think that's a big enough list for you if you want to get into that. Again, the reason why I'm in so many different AI coins is that I like to spread it around so that I'm going to catch those runners and I'm going to mitigate my losses on the ones that nuke. I guarantee just a couple of those coins are just going to explode. That's the nature of the beast if you're playing in these types of niches. So exposing yourself to just one of them, very, very risky. Spreading around, probably where the juice is. If I was building one of those bigger portfolios as a beginner or an intermediate, I would stop at the top tier coins and that second list I gave of mid-cap top coins. That's not going to ruin your entire life if the market reverses. There are mostly coins that do good stuff and are actually running legit projects. I don't think any of the coins in this list are non-legit projects, but there's always the chance of that happening, especially when you get into the lower caps. And a lot of the projects just aren't going to see their vision realized. This is very low startup investing. investing. And what we're betting on right here, I want to stress, a lot of people are like, it's the best technology of the future. I bet my life on this coin because it was the next Facebook. Guys, we are getting into a market on one principle. These are about to hit massive overvaluations due to FOMO, excessive money rolling in, and greed from the top money in the world. That's number one goal is to manipulate markets and then dump them on retail masses. We are getting in, if you've been on the channel with me, we've gotten in way before the retail masses, but you're getting in right before the retail masses move into this based on the cycle patterns. A lot of these coins, even if they have the best intention in the world, the best teams in the world, a lot of their companies are going to fail just like in standard entrepreneurship. That doesn't matter. A lot of these companies might even succeed in doing that much, but the overvaluations are going to send it to these levels, especially when we see the AI narrative and all those things I talked about combined together. So that is my list of AI coins. And I had to get this to you today because it literally took me like 40 minutes to film this video. I couldn't get the yucks in, the crazy stuff. We're going to start seeing those on Saturdays going forward, but we didn't have time to edit and do all the jokes this video. I just had to get this out there. So as always, follow me on Twitter at ZSSBecker. That's where I'm going to be pointing out things way mad early. These videos take a second to make. It takes me 2 seconds to make a fart joke on Twitter. On top of that, my meme coin is going to be dropping here at peak market FOMO. If you want to get on the whitelist for that, all the contests, the allocations, how to get on those things, how to earn your spots on those things. Again, I make nothing from it. I'm just giving it away all to my most engaged followers. That's going to be all on Twitter at ZSSBecker. I got nothing else to say. Good luck, guys.